DC motor characteristics and applications. Generally, three characteristics curves are considered important for DC motors, which are torque versus armature current. The second one is speed versus armature current. Then the third one is the speed versus torque. These characteristics are determined by keeping the following two relations in mind. One is the back EMF, another one is the torque equation. Based on these equations and the characteristics, you are choosing the DC motors for different applications. What are these two equations? That is, first equation is EB is equal to V minus IRA. However, the back EMF is given at 5 ZNP by 60 into A. If you are considering here, what is V minus IRA? That is EB, where EB is 5 ZNP by 60 into A. In this equation, if you are observing, phi and N are the variable terms, whereas for a particular machine, the number of conductors, the number of poles, and the number of parallel paths are the constant. Therefore, the back EMF is directly proportional to the flux and the speed. The flux and the speed. Therefore, if I want a speed N, then N is equal to EB by phi. That is, N is equal to EB by phi, where EB is equal to V minus IR. Therefore, I will write the equation for the speed. N is proportional to V minus IRA divided by phi, because instead of N I am replacing by V minus IR, because from this equation it is quite evident N is proportional to EB by phi. It is EB by phi. EB is nothing but V minus IRA divided by phi. That is, the speed is directly proportional to V minus IRA and inversely proportional to flux in all the DC motors. Then the second equation is the torque equation. Torque equation is given by EB by Ia divided by omega, that is angular velocity. Then if we are substituting for the value of EB and omega, then what we are finally getting is equation is 0.159 Zp by A into phi into I Newton meter. Once again, you can see here 0.159 Zp by A, all these are constant. Therefore, the torque is directly proportional to flux and I. The speed is directly proportional to V minus IRA and inversely proportional to flux, and the torque is directly proportional to phi and I. Keeping these two in mind, then we have to draw the characteristics for the DC shunt motor as well as DC series motor. Based on these characteristics, we are choosing for different applications. That will start with a shunt motor. We know that this is the circuit diagram of a shunt motor. We have got a armature. Across the armature, the shunt field is connected here. Then if we are applying the voltage V here, then the current is drawn by the supply by the motor is IL. Then IL has got two components. One is through the shunt field, the other one is the armature current. Once again, the important point you have to remember here is the voltage across the shunt field is the same as the applied voltage to the armature. Therefore, the V applied voltage is constant, the RS is constant, therefore ISH is constant. Then we know that the shunt field which is creating the magnetic flux. Therefore, the flux is directly proportional to the shunt field current, but the shunt field current is constant. Therefore, the flux in the DC shunt motor is constant. Therefore, I am written here phi is proportional to ISH, which is constant. The irrespective of the load condition, the shunt field current is constant, the flux is also a constant. Then we look into the first characteristic, that is the armature current versus the torque. In this case, we have got a relation. T is directly proportional to flux into armature current. But in this case, the flux phi is constant. Therefore, the T is directly proportional to Ia. Therefore, if the armature current increases, then the torque is also increasing. Therefore, the characteristics you are getting what here is a straight line, because T is directly proportional to IA. What we are getting is from the standard equation, torque is directly proportional to phi IA. Therefore, in this center motor, the phi is constant. Therefore, T is directly proportional to IA. That what we are getting here is the characteristics. It is the curve what I have drawn here is actual the torque produced in the DC motor. However, this torque is you are not getting for utilization, because there is a bearing friction in the machine. There is a loss in the some torque in the machine, and ultimately what output torque we are getting is called as shaft torque. It is represented by TSH. Therefore, I will draw one more curve which is also straight line, but the gap between this, that is, this is a lost in the T lost, or it is the friction and the bearing losses inside the machine. Therefore, what I am getting is this characteristics. This is the armature current versus the shaft torque. It is armature current versus armature torque. This is how you have to draw the characteristics for DC shunt motor, that is armature current versus the torque. The next characteristics is speed versus armature current, that is speed and the armature current. Then the relation for speed and the flux that we have to see, and the armature current. See here, N is proportional to V minus IRA and inversely proportional to the flux. Then if you are looking into the shunt motor here, the ISH is constant, the flux is constant. Therefore, it does not affect on the speed of the machine, because the shunt field is constant. Now, as the load increases or the armature current increases, then there is a drop is increasing. Therefore, the whole term in the right hand side goes on decreasing. As the armature current increases, V minus IRA term goes on decreasing. Thereby, speed is decreasing. Under no load condition, we have got a maximum speed here, because V minus IRA, when there is no load means IA is equal to 0, then N is proportional to V. At that time, we are getting a maximum speed. Then at the same time, in the ideal condition, the resistance is not there. Irrespective of the load condition, the speed remains the constant. That is because it is the ideal case. What I am considering here is ideal case. The speed is the constant. Irrespective of the load, the speed is constant. If it is ideal machine, because the RA is 0. But however, in the practical machine, we have got a RA. Therefore, as the armature current increases, drop goes on increasing, whole term goes on decreasing. Therefore, there is a dip in the speed as the load increases. This is the speed armature current characteristics. Then, based on these two characteristics, you have to draw the resultant characteristic, that is speed versus torque. What you are observe here is, you have to observe the two equations for the increase in the armature current. If the armature current increases, what happens to the speed? At the same time, what happens to the torque on the machine? Can look into first. If the armature current increases, torque increases. If the armature current increases, speed decreases. That is, one is, if the armature current increases, the torque is increasing, whereas if the armature current increases, the speed is decreasing. Just I will draw here. That is speed. When the speed is maximum, that is when IA is equal to 0. Therefore, what I am getting here is this point. That is this point. At this point, you can see IA is equal to 0. Therefore, torque is also this 0 here. The torque is the 0. It is a torque is 0 here. But at the same time, IA has got 0 value, but the speed has got maximum value. That is the speed N you are getting here. But I am shown here once again an ideal condition, because in the DC machine, the armature resistance is very, very small. In spite of that, for the practical purposes, I have drawn here this speed torque characteristics. Can analyze this when IA is equal to 0. When IA is equal to 0, the speed has got a maximum value. This speed has got a maximum value. At the same time, when Ia is equal to 0, the torque is 0. The torque is 0 here. Torque is 0. Then as the armature current increases, the torque increases. The torque is increasing. However, the speed of the machine goes on decreasing. Torque is increasing in this way. However, the speed is decreasing. It is resembling the speed armature, the characteristics. This is how we have to analyze the characteristics of the DC shunt motor for torque armature current, speed armature current, speed torque. Based on these characteristics of a DC shunt motor, we are choosing for a different applications. That is, the important thing here is that the characteristics of shunt motor reveals that it is an approximately constant speed motor, because it is a constant speed motor that you can observe here. Almost the speed is constant here. That is why this motor is used where the speed is required to remain the almost constant from no load to full load. Where your speed is constant, you require at that instant of time, that you have to make use of the shunt motors. Some of the important applications are blowers and fans, centrifugal and reciprocating pumps, lathe machines, machine tools, milling machines, and drilling machines. These are the applications of the DC shunt motor based on the speed characteristics of a DC shunt motor. Now we will study the characteristics of DC series motor. You can observe, we have to analyze first series circuit. Applied voltage is V here. Here the load current, series field current, as well as the armature currents are the same, because it is a series machine. The series machine, therefore IL, I series and IA are all the same. At the same time, you look into the flux produced by the armature. It is depending upon the series current, I series. You can see here, I series is same as the armature current, because all currents are the same, IL, I series and I. Therefore, the first equation what I am writing here is T is proportional to phi into I. That is, torque is directly proportional to phi into I. In the case of the series motor, you can see here phi is directly proportional to I, because the phi is proportional to series field current, but the series field current is same as the armature current. Therefore, the flux is directly proportional to I. Therefore, if you are substituting for phi here, then the torque is directly proportional to Ia square. Therefore, what we are getting here is the torque is directly proportional to square of the current. Then what is the nature of the curve? It is a parabolic in nature. That is, I will draw here the armature torque. Then I told you that there is a loss in the torque inside the machine, that is T lost. Then what I am getting is shaft torque. The difference between these two curves is nothing but torque is lost because of the losses inside the machine. This is how you have to analyze the characteristics of series motor when it is torque between the armature current. Then we look into the speed versus armature current. Once again, look into the equation. Here the speed is proportional to V minus Ia Ra plus R series, is it not? The back EMF is nothing but it is V minus I series R series minus IaRa. I series is same as Ia, therefore what I am writing is IaRa plus R series. Once again, you can observe here in the numerator, Ra and R series are very small. The drop due to Ia into bracket Ra plus R series is very small, and applied voltage is constant. Means what I am considering here is the numerator is almost constant, but the phi is proportional to Ia because the flux produced in the series motor is same as series current. The series current is same as Ia, therefore phi is proportional to I. If I am substituting here, then ultimately what I am getting is the speed is inversely proportional to I. That is what I am writing is N is proportional to 1 by Ia because the numerator I am considering as the constant because Ra plus Rc is very small, the drop is very small, almost the numerator is constant, therefore approximately the speed is inversely proportional to I. If the speed is inversely proportional to Ia or any quantity, it is the nature of the curve is rectangle hyperbola. So what I am getting here is the characteristics is rectangular hyperbola. That is, if you can observe here, it is a very important characteristics for the series motor. When if the machine is underloaded, means it is very small load. If the Ia is small, then the speed is very high. Therefore, you have to start series motor with some load. If you are starting the series motor without load, the speed is infinitely high and there is a possibility of there is a damage to the machine. Therefore, the series machine will start with some load because for a very small current of the armature current, the speed is very high because the speed is inversely proportional to I. Then, based on these two characteristics, you have to draw the third characteristic. The third characteristic is the speed versus torque. Then once again you have to observe these two equations with Ia. If the Ia increases, therefore the torque is increasing because torque is proportional to Ia square. If the Ia increases, the speed is decreases. You can observe here. This is resembling the same characteristics. You can see here. When Ia is increasing, the torque is goes on increasing. The torque is goes on increasing. Torque is goes on increasing here because you can see here it is the incremental change in the torque. At the same time, when Ia is increasing, the speed has to decrease. Therefore, you can see as the armature current increases, torque the speed is goes on the decreasing. Means it is once again the resembling speed armature the characteristics. That is T is proportional to Ia square. It is holds good until the saturation of the magnetic field. Once it is saturated, in that case T is directly proportional to Ia. Up to the saturation point, T is proportional to Ia square. That is why you are getting here. There afterwards there is a straight line. Based on these characteristics, you have to list out some of the applications of the series motor. Speed is low at high torque and we are getting very high torque at the time of starting. Therefore, these are used in cranes, pies, elevators, the trolleys, conveyors and electric locomotives. These are some of the applications of series motor. Then applications for DC compound motors are very limited because of the differential compound motors are rarely used because of their poor torque characteristics. However, cumulative compound motors are used where the fairly constant speed is required. Some of the applications of the cumulative compound motors are the rolling mills, punches, shears and heavy planers. Here these are some of the applications of the cumulative compound motors. Based on the characteristics, you are using the DC motor for different applications.